It is an absolute honor to be here today and welcome you to the Arcs Atlanta Foundation's 2025 Scholar Awards celebration. 15, 33, 8. Now, these might seem like simple, arbitrary numbers, but together they tell a story of vision, perseverance, and impact. These three numbers are meaningful. They stand for changed lives. If you give me just a few minutes, I will soon explain more about what they represent. But before I do that, I would like to tell you a story. Since her first trip to Kenya in 2009, Brandy Shackelford, a PhD student in Laney's Environmental Health Sciences program and first-year ARC scholar, repeatedly witnessed the adverse impacts of unsafe water, sanitation, and hygiene, or what we in public health commonly call WASH. Under the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 6 calls for the world to, and I quote, ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. And yet, progress is failing. This global need for what many of us in this room take for granted, clean water, led Brandy to pursue a PhD. Brandy's research interests have expanded beyond WASH, and it now focuses on the related problem of food access, something we also take for granted. So her work now focuses on identifying the most effective and sustainable interventions to improve food security for women and children in low-income countries. Now, in addition to being well-published, Brandy holds a patent. Brandy was in the room at one point. I think she had to leave to go take an exam. But Brandy, if you're still here, would you wave your hand? She's not. She's off taking her exam. Ah, there she is in the back. Incredible work. So with the support of ARCS, brilliant and determined scholars like Brandy are successfully engaging in research in service to the global good. I have another story, perhaps one that is more familiar. You just heard it told earlier, but it bears repeating. In 1958, just a year after the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, America faced an unsettling question. Had we lost our edge in science and innovation? In response, a group of visionary women in California founded Achievement Rewards for College Scientists, or ARCS, to help ensure that the nation would never again fall behind in its pursuit of scientific discovery. From its very inception, ARCS has been guided by its mission to enhance scientific leadership through financial investment in student researchers pursuing careers in science, technology, math, engineering, and medical research. Now, more than 60 years later, this mission feels as urgent as ever. And a similar question has emerged. How do we nurture and sustain scientific leadership in extraordinarily uncertain times? While the challenge no longer comes from a race to space, it arises from a quieter yet equally consequential issue: the growing erosion of trust in science and the American academic research enterprise, as well as the politicization of the value of scientific research. Across this country, scientists like myself are facing shrinking research budgets, politicized funding decisions, and public skepticism about the value of their work. These pressures don't always make headlines, but their effects are just as real. They slow discovery, weaken progress, and limit creative potential. An individual scientist preparing solutions and running experiments in her lab may appear to be working in isolation, but she is part of a larger ecosystem that collectively serves the global good. And when her effort to do this excellent work is undermined, we all lose. This is precisely why organizations like ARCS Atlanta matter. They remind us that scientific leadership depends not only on technology and infrastructure, but on people. The scholars, the educators, the faculty advisors who are in the room today, and many other visionaries whose work ensures that progress continues. ARCS Atlanta has far-reaching impact. Across Research University campuses, ARCS scholars are leading the way. They are publishing groundbreaking research, securing competitive grants and patents, mentoring the next generation of scientists. Their achievements reflect not only individual brilliance, which you have already heard in this room today, but also the power of collaboration. Their achievements show us what becomes possible when talented students are given resources, community, and confidence to pursue bold ideas. Across Georgia's leading research institutions, we see what happens when commitment meets investment. Through ARCS Atlanta funding, ARCS scholars at Georgia Tech go on to pursue productive careers, launch companies, and develop new technologies, per President Cabrera. ARCS scholars at Morehouse College pursue excellence in science and mathematics, per my colleague, President Bowman. ARCS scholars at UGA create new knowledge, tackle society's most pressing problems, and prepare for a lifetime of leadership in their respective disciplines, per President Moorhead. Each of these institutions brings unique strengths, yet we share a common thread: the belief that scientific discovery flourishes when we invest in people. That same spirit of creative discovery defines Emory University, where students and faculty work together to create, preserve, teach, and apply knowledge in the service of humanity, which is the university's mission. It is this creativity that fuels the university's research enterprise. Emory ARCS scholars are making extraordinary contributions as researchers and rising leaders, per Chancellor Fenves. In fiscal year 2024, Emory faculty and researchers secured more than $1 billion in extramural funding, a record that underscores the university's position as one of the nation's leading research institutions. From AI-powered cancer imaging to HIV drugs that extend life for millions, the Emory research enterprise continues to grow in both scope and impact. However, none of this progress happens by chance. It is fueled by people, the students and faculty whose curiosity, collaboration, and courage push boundaries. This is especially true for doctoral students whose work lies at the heart of our research enterprise. Now, across all 4 partner institutions, ARCS Atlanta support empowers work across a broad range of STEM disciplines. Scholars conduct research that span understanding disease to developing new tools and technologies to improving the environment. For example, Maya Levitin, a PhD student in biomedical engineering at Georgia Tech, is helping to develop a targeted drug delivery platform to treat lymphedema. Justin St. Cloud at Morehouse College is conducting research on the molecular mechanisms underlying neurodevelopmental disorders, particularly autism spectrum disorder. Brianna Tamani, a comparative biomedical sciences PhD student at the University of Georgia, is conducting research focused on understanding the molecular requirements for Zika virus infection in different cell types, as well as understanding how Zika replication is impacted by varying temperatures. And last but not least, Riley Hughes, a PhD student in chemistry at Emory University, is developing new methodologies to monitor Alzheimer's disease progression and treatment effects. Together, these scholars remind us that discovery thrives in spaces where collaboration and courage are valued. They are proof that investments in science and education yield exponential returns for humanity. But as we celebrate the power of research and education to drive innovation today, we must also acknowledge that continued progress is not guaranteed. With changing federal priorities, our collective capacity to advance science and education shifts with them. So this is where I return to the three numbers I shared earlier: 15, 33, 8. 15 founders. We would not be here today celebrating our scholars if not for the work of 15 founding ARCS Atlanta chapter members. Women who believed in the importance of investing in the limitless potential of future generations. 33-year history. For 33 years, ARCS Atlanta has been an enduring partner in higher education, expanding opportunity, advancing discovery, and strengthening Georgia's academic institutions. Over $8 million in funding. Since its inception, ARCS Atlanta has awarded a cumulative total of more than $8 million to well-deserving scholars. So as we celebrate our scholars today, and a joyous celebration it is, let's remember the power of these three numbers: 15 founders, 33 years of service, and over $8 million of support. Together, they represent countless lives changed and discoveries made. Congratulations to the 2025-2026 ARCS scholars. Your curiosity, persistence, and imagination represent the very best of what science can be. To the ARCS Atlanta donors, thank you for your tremendous commitment to the lives of students and your support for the advancements in science happening at Georgia Tech, Morehouse, the University of Georgia, and Emory. Your generosity will indeed have a profound impact on both our students and our society. As we reflect on the meaning of this partnership with ARCS Atlanta, we are reminded of a truth shared by Marie Curie. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. Thank you.